Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Tosin. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how I made this bubu gown with the lace design and also the bias design. Please do well to subscribe to my channel, follow, like, and click on the notification bell for more videos. And by the way, if you want to learn how to make different types of turban, please do well to send a message to me. So all the measurements you need for this particular bubu is your full length, your shoulder measurement, how long you want the sleeve to be, that's how long you want the hand to be. You're going to measure it, and also your hip measurement, your waist measurement, depending on how big you want it to be. So the first thing I did was to mark my shoulder measurements, and I also marked how long I want the bubu to be. Then I went down by 10 inches for the sleeve opening. You can make your shorter, maybe like 9 inches, depends on you. I went ahead to insert my bust measurement. So my bust measurement divided by 4, then I added 2.5 inches. That 2.5 inches for it to make it really a bubu, and also for the ease. So that is the 2.5 that I added. You can add more, you can add less, however you want your bubu to be. I ruled that out. Then I also went ahead to mark my waist measurements. Generally, bubus don't need shoulder slope, but I use shoulder slope in my own case because I wanted to have a bit of fitting. By the way, the length I used for the length of my sleeve, I used 12 inches in total. So I joined it together with the length of my sleeve and also the shoulder slope. So I just connected everything together. Then I went ahead to start inserting my measurement. That's a quarter of my bust measurement plus 2.5 inches, quarter of my waist measurement plus 2.5 inches, quarter of my hip measurement plus 2.5 inches. Then I connected everything together. On the waistline, however, I made my pockets. So for this pocket, the one I did here is actually very small. For the neck width and neck depth measurements, I made use of 3.5 inches and by 1 inches for the back piece, then 3.5 inches by 7 inches for the front piece. This front piece measurement depends on how deep you want your V neckline to be. I made use of 7 inches for mine. You can make yours longer, deeper than that. You can use 8, 9, depends on you, and you can use 6, 5, depends on you. It depends on how deep you want it to be. Now back to the pockets. This particular pocket I used in this bubu is too small. It's not deep enough. I used 6 inches by, I think, 6 inches. Usually it should be 6 inches by at least 12 inches. 6 inches by at least 12 inches. This particular one here is too small because I did not like the outcome at the end of the day. So when you are making yours, make it 12 inches for the length. That's the length outward. Where I'm presently marking, make use of 12 inches instead of 6. Between 10 and 12 inches will be okay, but the length of the pocket, 6 to 7 inches, will be just fine. But where I currently ruled, make use of 12 inches. So after cutting the bubu, the next thing I did here is to cut the interface. So here I'm just trying to cut the interface for both the front piece and the back piece. It's pretty simple, very easy. Then once I was done with that, I also went ahead to cut the lace material that I used for the design in front, and also the bias that I made use of. So I went ahead to cut the lace and also the bias. That's that with the cutting of this particular boo. When I was done cutting this lace, I went ahead to use my bias to just tape it round, and this is the result that I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you like to learn how to cut and sew different types of boo, please send a message to my number. Thank you so much for watching. Please do well to subscribe, share, and share to your friends. Bye.